In today's video, I'm sharing 3 mindful habits that will drastically improve your happiness, health, and wellness. So one thing I really want to start sharing more of and just kind of stress is how important mental health is and just how much it impacts your physical health. I think that in the past, even culturally, it was all about physical health and exercising and not as much stress or emphasis on mental health, and also maybe not even realizing how much it does impact you, but it really does. And we're all one being. It's not like your mind isn't connected to your body. There's one really interesting study that I love sharing because I just find this story so cool. There was a study they did where they had 2 groups of housekeepers, and one group they told, just do these assignments, 8 hours a day, whatever. It didn't give them any other information. And then the other group, they told, by the way, when you're doing this is a really great exercise, you're going to lose a lot of weight, and just put this idea into their head that they were, because you are actually doing physical work. Now, both groups were doing the exact same amount of work, but the group that thought it was an exercise and a workout literally ended up losing weight, and the group that didn't. So it's just so cool to see that, when your mind believes something, your body will follow. And when you practice happy, mindful habits, your body will follow as well. So I wanted to get into 3 really easy, mindful shifts that you can make that will make a huge difference in your life and truly make you happier. And thus, I believe the happier you are and the more positive you are, the better chance you have at being really healthy physically. So the first thing I want to share is having more compassion for other people. So stick with me here. I know it's how can this totally drastically impact your life? The reason being, when you have more compassion for where someone is coming from, let's say you are in an argument with someone or in a conversation where you disagree, or someone makes a decision that really bothers you. Let's say it's even at work and your boss decides to not give you a promotion or decides to cut hours, anything like that. Instead of just being upset and thinking about how it affects you, if you could really have compassion for the other person and really put yourself in their shoes, it helps you understand the situation better. And it takes you out of your own life and your own mind where everything kind of revolves around us and what's going to be better for us. And instead of just thinking he's such a jerk, you kind of take a step back and you're okay, well, he just got hired here. He has a lot of pressure on him from corporate, and he needs to make sure that he's making cuts. Maybe he doesn't want to, but this is the pressure they're giving him and he's going to get fired. And you kind of just think okay, maybe there's a reason he's doing it. I've actually even done this with my own parents, because we all have our own issues with our parents. We resent them for certain things they've done, or I can't believe you did this while I was growing up. I've had a lot of that with my upbringing. And then when I really think back on where my parents came from, my mom came to this country when she was 17, and she had 2 kids, and they were parents on campus, and they didn't have a lot of money, and all the struggles that she didn't really have the adolescent experience that I had growing up. So how can I expect her to understand what I'm going through? Or when I was always upset that she was so strict, if I could really think about it from her lens, she's never experienced those things, so how would she know? So genuinely having compassion for other people will not only make you understand them more, but it will also change the way you react to them. So instead of getting upset and angry at them, when you have a little more compassion, watch how they react back to you. It's just going to be a cycle of positivity, because when someone doesn't feel attacked back, it makes them feel a little bit safer to react. So really try practicing this, and just put yourself in other people's shoes before you judge too quickly. So the next thing is meditation. I won't get too into this one because I have done a full video on meditation, and I don't like to be a broken record about meditation, but I just want to say it is so crazy how mindful it makes you. When you're sitting and you kind of block out all the noise, it's the whole point of meditation. And the style of meditation that I practice, you're supposed to have thoughts. It's not you're supposed to shut off your thoughts. It's not normal. But you're sitting there and these thoughts kind of come and go, and you sit there for that 20 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever you can do. All of the random thoughts that are just surface level kind of calm down, and you realize what deeper thoughts you have and what you actually care about. And it goes just deeper. So you get into your subconscious, what do I actually care about? And it kind of goes past the ego. And I think a lot of times we function on ego and what other people are going to think of us and expectations that society has, and are well, what do I truly want in my soul that makes me happy? And when you meditate, you really just become more in tune with that, and this is just going to make you happier. I think back on this relationship I had in my 20s that I thought was so perfect for me, and he, perfect on paper, but deep down, like, we didn't have that connection. Like, we didn't have that closeness. Like, did he truly, like, I never truly laughed, like my own real laugh. And I noticed that after, when I thought about it, maybe if I had meditated during that time, I could have been a little more connected. And, we all have one of those. But just being more in tune with yourself and what you really want and what really makes you happy will just take you, so many great places. So I'll link my video below on meditation if you guys want more information on that. And lastly, practicing a mindset of abundance versus scarcity. So this is huge and something I've even recently learned and, still sometimes struggle with. I want to keep it real. It's not like I'm perfect in this area, but really thinking about how the world is so abundant and there's so much opportunity for everyone versus like being so competitive and thinking that like if they're doing something, like it's taking your place. Just operating in this place causes so much stress and anxiety. Like, let's say you're a YouTuber or a blogger and you see that someone else's page is growing really fast and they're getting, deals with a skincare company you want to work with, and it makes you upset. It has nothing to do with you. There are so many other people in the world doing things that you don't even know about, but we kind of tend to operate from like what's going on in our immediate world and what we have to feel competitive with. And that just causes you anxiety. And it's almost like putting it out into the universe, just putting positive energy out into the universe. It will come back to you. And when you feel that you have everything you need and the world is abundant, you're going to get more that comes to you. Like, there's just so many great stories about this, and people who had this mindset, so many people I know in my life who had this mindset are always doing so great in life. They genuinely don't care what anyone else is doing. And this is going to sound weird, but almost to like sit back and realize how insignificant you are. You're important, but when it comes to the big world, like what you think is the biggest deal and who you're competing with, there's like billions of people, and it's just not as big a deal as you think it is. Of course, you're like, in your life, what matters to you is important, but don't worry about things so much, and don't worry about who you're directly competing with. There's plenty of room for everyone, especially now. I mean, in the digital world, it's like we all have equal opportunity, and not wasting that energy on competing and just putting that all towards doing your own thing and making yourself happier will drastically make you happier. So I hope that these little tips helped you, just little easy shifts. I think that it's nice to try incorporating things that don't cost any money. They're just, mindful shifts that you can make, and just watch how everything else works. Even trainers will tell you how important the mind-body connection is. Every time I do my FaceTime workouts with my trainer now with COVID, every time we're doing abs, he's like thinking about abs, or when we do like squats, like thinking about glutes. And when you like are mentally picturing it, you will get better results. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and if you decide to incorporate any of these, definitely leave it in the comments and let me know how it's going. So I will see you guys next time.